it's Margo at My Favorite Quilt Store, and I'm here to help you pick out the fabrics for my first quilt class. So it's the class that we're going to be beginning soon, and I wanted to help you kind of pick out some fabrics. We do have kits of all these fabrics, but in case you wanted to pull your own fabrics, I wanted to talk to you about how to pull fabrics and what this quilt kit needs. So let's first talk about what it needs. So we're going to look for 3 different fabrics. I've done it with only 3 because I think it's easier to work with 3 in the beginning than it is to pick a lot of different fabrics. You can make this scrappy. You can use fabrics that you have at home because it doesn't need a lot of fabrics. It's only 40.5 inches square. So we're going to pick a focal fabric, which will be the border, the half square triangles, and then our fussy cut or our center heart. So when this one was made, she fussy cut the center heart so that there was a full flower in it. So that's the first fabric we need, and it's used in 3 places. Then we need more of a medium color fabric, and that is this dot right here, which we're using in the 4 patch, and then the outer border, and it's also going to be used in your binding. And then the background is the lightest color fabric that we'll pick, and it is used in the background of all the different pieces of to applique the heart, the 4 patch, and the half square triangles. So those are what you're going to need, and of each of them, of your darkest one, you're going to need 1.5 yards, and what I'm calling the medium, you will need for this the binding and the inner border and the 4 patch, you're going to need 1/2 yard, and of the background you're going to need 1 yard. So you need 1.5 yards of the dark, of the fabric that's going to be for the border. Then the fabric for the inner border, if it's the binding, the inner border, and for the 4 patches, you need 1 yard of that one. And then the background fabric that you see in all the patches, you need 1 yard for that one. And then for backing, you'll need 2 yards. So all of our kits do come with the backing, and what we've decided to do is to put the focal fabric. This is what you'll get as your backing of the project, because your binding is going to be this. So whatever the focal fabric is, or the dark fabric, will be your backing that you'll receive with the quilt kit. So let's go out to the floor and take a look and see if we can find some fabrics. Okay, let's go. First stop is over to where our Cape fabrics are from Free Spirits. So Cape has a wide variety of florals, prints, and all kinds of different looks. So I really enjoy working with these because they're a lot of fun. They're bright, they're happy fabrics. So let's pull some. We have a blue, and I've already got the light blues for this kit pulled together. And then I had a black one, so I need to pull a couple of blacks for this. I like this. This might work for me. I'm gonna get this one. This is called Onion Rings. It's one of our best-selling fabrics. And I know I want to make a pink one, so let's see what I've got in pink. This is one of my, this one is by far one of my favorite fabrics. So I'm gonna pull that. Let's get this and this, just to see if we like one of them better than the other. And this one. Okay, so as you can see, I've already got quite a number of fabrics. So let me take these back to the studio and I get some more. All right, hey, here we are in our Riley Blake solids. We just got in all these great confetti cottons, and so I wanted to pull a couple of these for a fun, more of a solid, modern looking quilt. I really want to go with this kind of a greeny green blue, because it's really one of my favorite colors. Oh, here's one that I think will work well with it as the light. This is the dark, and this is the medium. And let's go with maybe white as the background, because the white's really easy to work with, and I love it to really pop the colors at the end. So let's get these 3, and we'll see what we can do with this. Okay, back to the studio. Okay, welcome back to the studio. We've picked our fabrics, and now let's talk about them a little bit. Okay, I wanted to do one that was solids, and I've used the confetti cottons from Riley Blake because we just got in a lot of colors. They just came out with 330 or 320 new colors, or 320 colors in total of confetti cotton, and we're going to be carrying all the different colors. Starting by next month, we should have every single color in. So we'll have a nice variety of solids for you to choose from. We love these because they're great for blenders, but they also make it a nice modern look in your quilt. So I picked these, I love like a bluey teal, this is kind of like a bird's egg color in my viewpoint. So I got a solid white as the center or the background fabric. This is the light that I've chosen that kind of contrasts with the solid, and then this is the dark fabric that I've chosen for this particular quilt kit. This is the Raleigh Blank solid, and I'd call it more of a robin's egg quilt kit together. So you could put almost any color with this if you wanted to change out the white, and then you have 3 solids, and you can see that you just need a little bit of contrast between the two so that you can get a nice light, medium, and dark value in your quilt, because that's what makes it interesting and that's what makes the movement happen. So we looked at these solids and got those. So let me show you another one that we've picked out, and then we're going to talk about different ways of why we choose different fabrics. So on this one, I chose this floral as the main fabric for the outside border and backing, and the inner and the half square triangles. I thought it was beautiful because it had like a nice scale of floral to it. Then I added as the inner border and binding this one because it has a lot of the same color, but it's a different scale, so it gives you more interest in the fabric choice. And then my background is going to be also this songbird blue, or songbird green. I just think it adds so much prettiness to this because it transcends here. There's a little bit of that color in here, and then there's some in the very background of this. So this will be a nice coloration for another quilt kit that we will have. Okay, and so I told you I love Cafe. I've also put together some other ones, but this just gives you an idea. I love Cafe, and so I wanted to do a couple of different Cafe ones. So this is a very large floral, and it has always been one of my favorites. So I love to work with this particular one because it's got so much color and fun in it, and the flowers are just big and happy flowers. So we we have this as the outside backing and border. And then the inner border, I went with a smaller scale fabric to go with it that is also Cafe, but has some of the same colorations in it to bring the colors through. All right, this I've chosen as the outside border because I didn't like this because I didn't think it gave this enough contrast. So I've added this to the outside to make it more of a strong border. So I'm only going to need a ½ yard of this one for the inner border and the 4 patches, but this one I'm going to get a ½ yard of so that I can use it for my binding, because I like to have a strong binding and ending to my quilts. So then I was trying to decide which background I like better. So I have picked this one, and I like it. I like the dot because the dot folds through well to this particular like ovally paperweight look. And then I also chose this to look at, which is kind of got a blue background, and I like this one because it brings the blue from here to here. It also has the dots, so the dots kind of are matching, but then it brings it all the way through. And in this fabric, you do have some hints of blues and different colors, and so I really think I like this one better with this. So this one will be my background, my inner border and the 4 patch, my outside border, and then my binding. So this particular quilt kit will have 4 fabrics to it. Okay, so then the one that's on the back wall has, and this one will be the backing of the quilt. And this is the binding for this particular quilt. Now we're going to move to this quilt that's on the back wall. It has this beautiful floral in it that is by Cafe. It's called Japanese Chrysanthemum, and it's a nice large print So I chose this one for the outside. It's definitely one of our most popular fabrics that we have. Again, I've used a smaller scale print in the same colorations for the inner border and the binding. And then I used this light colored, almost watery looking oval with dots on it for the background. So you can see how it works up here. It gives you a nice overall blue effect to this particular quilt kit. So the backing on this one will be this beautiful Japanese chrysanthemum. That's so nice. So last but not least, one of our favorite and most popular prints is called Black Shaggy. And it is so beautiful because it's got this fiery orange in it. It's got purples, greens, blues. It's just got all kinds of wonderful colors in it and these big, large florals. So I said, oh, this is one of my favorite fabrics too. I definitely want to make a quilt out of this one. So I love to pair this, this black dot with black and with the purple in it because it works so nicely with it. So I've chosen this one as the inner border and the binding, so because I think it works with it really, really well. And then I needed a lighter fabric for the background that you can see in the back here. And so this one is really, it's called Onion Rings, and it's really a popular fabric, but the scale on it was a little too big for me. When looking at this, the scale is still big, like the rest of the fabric, so I didn't think it would read right cutting it down, and it has a lot of movement in it also, even in smaller sections. So I chose something that was a bit more solid for it, because once we put the other thing with, I did this white jumble with it, because this gives it more of a calm background and not as much pattern to the background as that onion ring would be to it. So I chose this shaggy black, this light dot with purple because it coordinates with the black and the purple with the large color, and then this will be the background on this. And this will be a really fun, really modern looking quilt with all those fabulous colors in it. So I hope this helps you in being able to decide if you want to pick out your own fabrics for this. If you do, we'd love to see what you've chosen. We can always do a mini send it to us on our Facebook group and say, what do you think of these together? And we can all give you feedback on it and see what you like. Or if you want looking for something else, let me know. I have had a request to do something a little more purple. And so I'm going to look into some cave and find some more purple fabrics that we can do to make something just is a little more purple. So I'll still be adding more fabrics to the kits so that you can have a nice selection to choose from. So any questions about doing quilts? You really want a light, a medium, and a dark in a quilt because that gives your eye a place to rest, and then also a frame. And then this will be your, so then we choose this as the focal fabric because you want to have some sort of big focal fabric or focal fabric in here so that it's really the show-stopping piece of the quilt. So anyway, I hope this helps, and I've enjoyed picking out fabric with you, and I'll see you next time. Talk to you soon. Happy sewing!